Hey everybody, so I did a thing. What did I do? Well, I purchased two Soundcraft UI24R mixers. Why did I do this? If you watch the channel already, you know that I had a Behringer XR series mixer and I have an X-Touch control surface, and I use those for a lot of things, videos included. I was thinking a lot more about it, and never mind the fact that Behringer let their iPad app fall through the cracks and it's taking forever to update that app, which if you watch the videos on my channel, you know all about. That aside, I was thinking more about what I've been doing on the side, and I've actually started saying yes to some bigger projects, and I thought that it would benefit me in some of those larger projects to have two boxes, one that can be on stage, one that can be in my control room, and I can share audio back and forth over a single network connection. So I thought about, maybe do I get a Behringer XR32, like a rack 32, and then get a stage box? And I'm like, no, I don't want to keep putting my eggs in the Behringer basket when they're already not up to speed with the stuff that I have. So I decided to go with the Soundcraft UI24R, and I just pulled them out of the box last night and started fooling around with them a little bit then, and I fooled around with it a little bit today. And my first impressions are very good. Never mind the fact that they've got some very interesting I/O on the side of the boxes, which I'll show you in a minute. They've actually got web interfaces for controlling the devices, so you can't run into a situation where the app doesn't work because there is no app. It's just a simple web interface. So at this point, I'm actually going to switch the camera view and just show you a little bit of what I've got going on and talk about it. Okay, so here are my two boxes. We've got what I'm calling my remote box, like my stage box, and my host or my local box that would go in my production space. You can see I have a USB key plugged into the remote box, and I'm sure you're hearing music in the background that's actually playing out of the speaker on the local box. So it's sending that over the network, which is amazing because I'm testing this right now on a 200-foot, 60 meter, so it's actually like 196 feet of Cat6 cable. Now, Soundcraft says that they've only tested the cascading between the boxes up to 100 feet. So clearly I'm testing those limits, and so far so good. But what I really wanted to show you was some of the I/O on the side. So we've got a foot switch port, we've got two USB, we've got two network cables here, and what I think is amazing is an HDMI port. So you'll see this monitor right here. I've actually got an HDMI cable plugged into my host box and a mouse into the USB, and this is a direct interface right from the box. This isn't even like a web GUI. This is literally an interface straight out of the device. So I've got, control of my levels here. I can get into all my settings, which is amazing. And what's great is once you're into the host box, you can actually press this button here. And now I'm jumped into the remote. So I'm in the other box and I have full control of levels and settings and sends, which is fantastic. An HDMI port straight out of the box, right onto a monitor. You can plug in a keyboard and a mouse so you have access without any other additional computers or equipment. Fantastic. That aside, the other thing I want to show you is, because this is capable of a web interface, so never mind this is straight out of the box itself, but what I've got over here is I've got my own custom setup here, which is showing me my local or my host box, and it's showing me my remote. Now, how did I do this? Well, this is just simple HTML. Because this just calls the actual IP address of the mixers, if you know HTML, you can set this up any way you want, which is what I've done. So I've given myself a strip up here and a strip here, which are the meters for each device. And then on my one device, I've got my actual faders. I'm only showing two because you can set up custom views. Then I'm showing my aux sends, and then I have my EQ windows over here, my settings, but you can make any of those anything you want. And what's really cool is if you go into the settings and you go into, where is it? It's not under GUI. So if you go into the settings and you go under the local tab, you have sync selected channels. So if I do that in each of the screens, then anytime I make a change of the channels, that is reflected in each of the windows. So you can see I choose one channel in one window and it reflects in the other. And the same would be true on the other box if you adjust that in the settings. So that's pretty amazing. And if you want to know how to do this, if you don't know how to do HTML, I'll put up an example for you to copy the code. Probably this one where it just gives you the one mixer and the second mixer. And then if you actually want some custom ones, if you consider joining the Patreon, I will drop some custom examples in there. And I'll also do custom layouts for people, some simple HTML if you make the request. Anyway, I just wanted to keep it quick. I wanted to show you what I got. I wanted to tell you why I got it, show you a couple of really cool things quickly, and just tell you my overall impression so far is 2 thumbs up. And you know, the fact that I've got these cascaded on a cable longer than actually recommended is pretty cool. I'm hoping it works. I actually have 2 events coming up in the next 2 weeks where I'm going to do some real world testing. And make sure that this longer than recommended cable actually holds up. Now, I should mention that I did get a really sturdy copper cord cable so that it holds up to the abuse and I don't get any broken connectors inside just from, you know, like a mild twist or something. I'll make a link to that in case anybody's interested in picking up their own. Anyway, I hope this was interesting. I hope it was entertaining. I hope it taught you something or answered some questions that you might have had before you considered picking up one of these. If it was any of those things, please like and share and subscribe. Do all the normal things you do. Check out Patreon, and remember, if you want a custom HTML because you don't know HTML yourself, consider joining the Patreon and I can make one for you with a layout that fits your screen any way you like. Until next time, thanks for watching here on Quick and Easy Quickies. We will have more Soundcraft videos to come, I promise, very soon. See you later.